I don't know why. You can hate me for it. I wasn't a big fan of the Monkees television program nor the band. I just didn't get it. I was just like, is this like a Beatles make fun of band? Is this just like Beatles Beach Boy kind of thing, but not with as many hits and songs that are as good? I never understood. Dude, you don't know Mickey Dolenz. You'll never get it. Sorry. L Monkey. Corey Johnson back at you. Joe, this on Broadway, I don't know, if you look it up, it certainly looks like AC/DC and Angus Young playing it in concert. And it sounds like something Angus Young would do, but the more I look and the more I read and hear, a lot of folks think it's a fake, especially guitar players. And sometimes they're very knowledgeable because they are guitar players, and sometimes they know less than people that don't play guitar. You always got to be careful with opinions. A lot of folks spout them off. Are they valid? A lot of folks go to wrong sources to get advice or an opinion. Hey, thanks for joining us on a Monday. I hope we give good opinions. I hope you come here. Not so much for advice. I could use it from you. The Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. From like 67 degrees right now, almost approaching 70. But it is gorgeous outside. It's really nice. Mostly blue skies, sun shining, little cloud, wind blowing, windy day. We're going to go from like 67 right now. In about 12, 14 hours from now, it'll be 44. About a 25-degree temperature drop, about 25 degrees in about the next 12 to 15 hours in New Orleans. You South Shore folks, you North Shore folks, Cheyenne country and beyond, it's same kind of deal, mid-60s right now. It's going to be high 30s in the morning, 25 to 30-degree temperature drop for you North Shore folks. And over the next few days, a slow warming up. Today, by the way, the first day of spring. Spring has sprung, Joe. By golly. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. So much going on in the United States of America. Trump, Biden, and beyond. Ukraine. That's still going on? Yeah. Israel, Hamas. How about Palestinian leadership? New leader, educated in America. The old leader of the Palestinian Authority, like Hamas started this. They're in Qatar, living like kings while folks are in Gaza getting killed. That's the truth, and that's a pretty darn good attitude. A lot of rhetoric, a lot of, guys, religious zealots on a jihad. But that's about it. The bigwigs with Hamas, they're not in the field. They're in Qatar in luxury hotels, eating steak and lobster, living it up. It's just proxy Iran. All the H's. I can't keep up. Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis. Lots of H's. No, I need some help from right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan tomorrow. No, I'm hopeful that this new Palestinian leader who's educated in the United States is ruling the Palestinian Authority now. The old leader acknowledging that Hamas started this. That's like step one of a big, big step right there. The acknowledgement from Palestinian leadership that Hamas is crap. And step two, indirectly, you've got an American educated leader of the Palestinian Authority in Palestine. You know what step three is, huh, Joe? By the way, Joe's at the controls fielding your phone calls. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Step 3, bye-bye BB. Bye-bye BB. Bye-bye BB. No, Netanyahu's got to go because Netanyahu has the same attitude as Hamas as far as recognition of the other entity as a country. Same attitude as Hamas, just different representation of country or ideology. He doesn't think, he doesn't believe in a two-state solution. He's like, Palestinians can stay and they'll be ruled as a separate and lower class of people under our military and police thumb. But you're welcome to stay. You can work for us, come into Israel and high-paying jobs and sort of be our cleanup people, and then go back into Gaza or West Bank. No, two-state solution's the only solution. It's pretty obvious. I don't know how you can argue any other way. Now, you can sit here and go, what happened on October 7th, that's what'll happen if it's a two-state. They'll just secretly build up a military. They'll attack Israel. Their goal is for Israel not to exist. I think there are a lot of Palestinians that don't want. They realize Israel and Palestine need to exist together. Two-state solution. Could you imagine just like white New Orleans? You black folks in Orleans Parish, you've got to go. Actually, I think that was tried. Let me do it the other way around. Black folks in New Orleans saying, hey, you white folks, you need to go. Oh, wait, Chocolate City, that was done too. Bad example. Chocolate City man's in the news. He was tweeting MLK quotes and the like. It's like, dude, you were a convicted felon. You went to jail. Something about Dr. Martin Luther King and oppression. Come on. You were convicted. It's just kind of crazy, Ray Nagin. But also, I mean, like, some people are just mean and vindictive. It's like, even though he got out 3 years early because of Corona, I mean, lucky Ray, Lucky Ray. It's like Irvin Mayfield Jr. is out in like 11 months. They got away with it. But they, quote, did their time. You can disagree, like me. I think they got easy time. There's a joke. 3 years early for Ray Nagin out and Irvin Mayfield doing like 11 months and 8 months at a Pensacola, crawfish boil prison, lobster boil and steak prison, and then 3 months at a halfway house. Crazy. But you've got to accept the ruling. You've got to accept this. I mean, if the feds want to go, hey, you didn't go spend enough time, it's done. Paid their dues, time to move on. But that doesn't mean when Ray Nagin quotes MLK, you can't tweet back and go, that's ridiculous. Or Irvin Mayfield gets hired by Zulu a month out of the halfway house. And there's so many black musicians, white musicians, any musicians that would be honored, would love a paying gig from Zulu. Instead, it's let's help Irvin Mayfield, the guy that stole $1.3 million. You don't need to help him. Second chances are fine, but there are too many musicians that want that gig, that are legitimate. Hey, you might be running air conditioning right now because your house might be like 75 degrees. You're going to be running heat overnight. If you ever need air conditioning or heat help, River City's Total Maintenance is there. You don't have to remember the name River City's Total Maintenance. You just have to remember it's Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys. Honest air conditioning and heating experts. They're going to diagnose it right away and fix it right away. And speaking of right away, they come immediately because if your AC or heat's not working right, they know you're stressed out. You don't need to remember all that. You just can feel safe and secure. Yeah, that place Corey mentions, River City's Total Maintenance. Don't have to remember that. But I know they're honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. I don't even have to remember that. I just remember NOLAAC.com. If I ever need air conditioning or heat help, NOLAAC.com. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. A ton of topics like how is the North Shore not part of Metro New Orleans anymore? Louisiana National Guard in Texas? What? The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Got a good one lined up for you. How is the North Shore of New Orleans no longer considered part of Metro New Orleans? It's like its own metro now. St. Tammany, and I think they include like Washington Parish where Bogalusa is. So all the way to like the Mississippi state line up there. I think there's 275,000 people. My opinion is there definitely was some political pushing or prodding to get this done, I think. Hey, guys, I don't know if you knew it or not, but 15 or 20% of people from a certain area have to come into the city center for it to be a part of that metro. And I don't know if that's happening anymore from St. Tammany and Slidell, Twinspan, and Causeway. They're down to like 20,000 cars a day. And are all those cars on the Causeway going into the city center? Or are they going to Metairie maybe, or even Kenner to Baton Rouge, down home at Thibodaux? Are all the cars coming in from Slidell on I-10 coming into New Orleans? Of course not. They're on I-10. Some just go right through the city, So somebody, I think, proactively kind of push this narrative more than this organically just happening. But apparently, Covington, Mandeville, North Shore, New Orleans, as I call it, New Orleans, North Shore, is no longer part of the metro. Sadly, in a weird way, I think some North Shore folks are like, yeah, we're separate, just whatever that means. I mean, there's a lot of folks. I have a love-hate sometimes with New Orleans. A lot of folks that have stayed and haven't left. Hundreds of thousands have left. Hundreds of thousands have left. Continue to leave. Now, I have a little love-hate, but I love it a lot more than I hate it. Just the folks that are always bickering about it. It's like, you live 50 yards from Orleans Parish in Jefferson or St. Bernard or Plaquemine or even the St. James, St. John the Baptist, St. Tammany, whatever. You're right there. Why didn't you leave the state? And no, Diamond Head doesn't count. Laplace doesn't count. Well, Laplace is in the state, but Diamond Head doesn't count. Basically, Hancock County is almost Metro New Orleans. Not anymore. Not enough folks come in, 15, 20%, whatever it is. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, it's a weird example or analogy, but I'm just driving down I-10 one day and that damn Saturn V rocket from Michoud sitting in Mississippi on exit 2 at that Infinity Space Center. I'm like, what is my Saturn V rocket? Me, Corey Johnson. What is my Saturn V rocket? In Orleans Parish, where it was built in Orleans Parish, it's been in front of Michoud, a bad spot. Unless you're on Old Gentilly Road, you're not going to see it. It should have been by the tombstone on I-10 that says New Orleans East out there. The tombstone should have been out there for everyone to see. No, one day I'm driving in Mississippi. Boom. There's my Saturn V rocket at the Infinity Space Center in Baton Rouge. Who pulled that gimmick? I'll tell you, some people that were smart in Mississippi and some folks in New Orleans are like, yeah, take the rocket. We don't care. Just idiots letting that thing go. That's our rocket. Now it's in Mississippi. That's sad. It's pathetic. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Just all of a sudden, the North Shore of New Orleans. Oh, no, we're no longer part of New Orleans Metro. Just crazy. It is New Orleans Metro. Yeah, I just don't think that organically, naturally happened where Bill Buzzcut up in D.C., I'm just happening to checking out the New Orleans Metro stats. I've noticed that there's not enough commuters coming in from St. Tammany. We're going to have to change this dynamic. We're also doing it in Flint, Michigan, East LA, and Newark. I don't see that. I'm thinking that somebody pushed that narrative. An NOPD officer accused of forcing some teen boy to strip naked, some kind of molestation going on. This was like days after a car accident, had nothing to do with the car accident. Supposedly the officer was like staking out the boy's house a few days later, was arrested, not on duty, obviously. Why are the Louisiana National Guardsmen in Texas at the border? Louisiana National Guardmen have arrived in Texas, about 50 of them. 50. Border security operation. They're out of the Shreveport area. Should I expect Texas to now be down at the Louisiana border for our disappearing coast, our battle with the Gulf of Mexico, not the immigrants of Mexico, the Gulf of Mexico? It's battering our state, and it's continuous. It's 24/7, 365. There's no lull. It's peaking like it is in Texas with the immigrants all the time and has been for decades. Coupled with, this is the thing that blows me away, where my brain implodes. I'm pretty sure Texas is a pretty rich state, like really booming economy, many cities doing well. Dallas, north of 7 million people in the metro. Houston, almost 7 million, or at 7 million, right on Dallas's tail. I mean, between those two cities, you got about 14, 15 million people. If Houston and Dallas were a state, 14 or 15 million. Which states are bigger? Well, it wouldn't be Texas anymore because you're pulling 15 million out of their 30. So Houston and Dallas are as big as the rest of Texas in population. I mean, 15 million. New York's about 20. Florida's like 20. I mean, it's not too many. Huge cities, booming economies, ridiculous growth, people flocking to Texas for decades now. Austin booming. San Antonio, San Marcos probably will merge into one mega city. Maybe into Austin too eventually. They'll probably pull some Brasilia, Joe. Just, we're going to create Texas City out by Ozona, Sonora, way out in the I-10 towards New Mexico, in the middle of nowhere. There'll be 3 million people in the city in a month. No, Texas is a rich state doing really well, prospering. That's what they would say. Louisiana is a poor state, stagnant, struggling, losing population. No one moving here. Yet we're running over to help them with their border crisis. I don't get it. They're not running over to help us with our coastal erosion problem. I don't understand it. And don't give me the after Hurricane Katrina, because after the hurricane that hit Houston, they flocked into Louisiana and we all went over there and helped them. That's how it works. All the time, Houston can count on Louisiana if they get nailed by a storm. And vice versa. It just works that way. We're all on the Gulf Coast. We all have the same problems with hurricanes. Now, this is different. This is Louisiana National Guardsmen. I mean, there's a big barge load of rocks from Montana that came down the Mississippi River on a barge. They're going to be used to shore up Port Fourchon and Grand Isle. 60 Texas National Guardsmen showed up to help move these rocks around. I'd love to see that. Love to see that. They're from the Austin area. I'd love to see that. But instead, strictly a political move. And 50 poor saps out of Shreveport, they're like, yeah, I know what the National Guard responsibility is. I got to go to the Texas border, leave my family, my job, go to the Texas border for guard duty, for border security operation. Really? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Love to hear from you. 766-9480. NOLA.com, Times-Picayune. Really good article, like not in a positive way, but necessary news. A Gentilly Road project just ignoring the city's rules on live oak trees. And when you're digging a sidewalk or a street, they're just going there and just ripping it all up. And if there are oak tree roots in the way, they're just cutting them out of the way. So you're going to have a lot of stressed out oak trees that maybe survive. And then you have a bunch of oak trees that over the next year or so are going to die because they cut out some major root. It's just some guys laying street. It's crazy. It's like the V-cut Entergy does. If you've never noticed that, I shouldn't even tell you because it'll just nauseate you. It will. If you give a crap about the city, it's like you care about animals and trees and nature and stuff like that. It isn't political, bleeding heart, liberal left. It has nothing to do with politics. Just beauty and human beings interacting with Mother Nature and all this. Go drive down any street like Carrollton or whatever, look at the oak trees and then look from afar and the power lines going through the middle and just the obnoxious V cut of the oak trees. It's
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
A little windy out there, sunny, clouds too, about 65. Pretty darn nice Monday afternoon in New Orleans. Get outside and enjoy it. Plus, it's daylight now till about 7:15, so you got almost 3 hours, 2.5 full hours, 2.5 full hours. Right now, you can knock out a lot of stuff. Go play 9 holes of golf at a slow pace. Some of you guys with no one behind or in front of you, doesn't matter if they're behind you, you can just beeline quick in a cart, knock out 18 holes before it's dark right now. Right conditions, no one's slowing you down. Knock out a few sets of tennis, get down to the hunting blind, the fishing hole. Bring the boat out on the water. How about taking a walk, a jog, walk the dog. Bring them out. They want to go out. Drop some coals, light up the gas, boil some crawfish. Incredible weather. Tonight is an excellent night to boil some crawfish. Haven't pulled out the burner or the pot yet? Why don't you get to your friendly Rouse's neighborhood market, get to your Rouse's and get some live by the sack crawfish. Live by the sack, South Louisiana crawfish, probably caught a few hours ago, a few miles from that Rouse's store. Bring them home. Get the pot out in the burner, boil some crawfish. You know your Rouse's Market has everything you need to make that crawfish boil perfect. Everything. From the corn to the lemons to the Zatarans or Rex, whatever seasoning you're using. Rouse's crawfish boil, Rouse's brands. Are you kidding? Everything you need. They got the pot in the burner at Rouse's. Maybe you don't want to do it. You just want to eat the crawfish hot from the pot. Call me when they're done. They're done right now at your neighborhood Rouse's. It's crawfish season. The aroma of boiled crawfish throughout each and every Rouse's Market. Hot from the pot, ready to eat, or get them live by the sack, bring them home, and do that boil. Rouse's Markets, it's crawfish season. Best quality, best price. Price is coming down. Best selection, Rouse's Markets. No, get outside and enjoy this weather already. Yeah, this Gentilly Road project where the folks digging the road out, just ignoring the rules. I mean, I don't get that. There's going to be a lot of oak trees dying. We've already lost a third of our tree canopy. It's obnoxious. We're not used to it. Or we don't, I shouldn't say we're not used to it. We don't realize it because we're numb to it. I mean, think about graffiti, trash, litter, broken streets, busted up infrastructure that we just deal with, except, I'm coming up on that pothole. I got to get over there and left. You just sort of, by osmosis, let go of the wheel and the car drives itself, Billy Bob, Ricky Bobby, car drives itself. No, I mean, you know where the potholes are, the little pinched lip that's going to bang the hell out of the front end of your car. We're numb to all this stuff. So we're really numb to lack of trees. A friend of mine, a native New Orleanian, he's been gone for probably 15 years now, 12 good years. D.C., now in Denver. Comes back to New Orleans, hadn't been back in a few years. Came back, he's like, Corey, man. There's a lot of trees missing. Like, it's noticeable. I mean, I'm beelining through the east the other day. I'm just looking at the neighborhoods on the left and right on the I-10, mostly the apartment complexes, but some neighborhoods with houses. You could count the trees. Seriously, no big trees, no kind of tree canopy. It's ridiculous. We have an emergency right now. My street's a prime example. My street's from like the 50s, late 40s, 50s. All the houses are kind of the same. I have an oak tree in my front yard. Not another house with an oak tree in the front yard. No one. There are no trees planted when that neighborhood was developed. Look at Metairie, like in between Vets and the lake. Used to be a lush cypress forest. They just clear cut it. They built a bunch of streets. You can go down some of these streets from like Vets to West Esplanade. There ain't a tree in anyone's yard. Not a single tree. And then you go down the street that they planted the oak trees in New Metairie off Vets. And you're like, God, this is so nice. These ranch-style houses, this paved street, and all these oak trees I'm driving under. No, we be digging should be New Orleans' motto. We be digging. There should be billboards everywhere. It should just be this constant reminder telling tourists and conventioneers, man, we be digging in New Orleans. We're saving ourselves. We're digging big holes for retention ponds to gather water when it rains so we don't flood our streets, our neighborhoods, our cars, our houses, our businesses. And we're digging small holes because we're planting trees everywhere, all the time, every day, 24/7. Should be crews out 2, 3 in the morning, bright lights lit up, digging holes, planting trees. Everywhere. Everywhere. I play golf. I know you're probably tired of hearing it. That's my outdoor adventure. I'm a city boy. I like, ordering food, someone bringing it to me. So my camping, my outdoor activities like golf. I go to City Park. It's beautiful. You could plant so many more trees at City Park. On the golf course that I'm playing, you could plant hundreds of oak trees all over the golf course, the south course that I play right now. The north course, the same thing. There are areas that are just there's nothing there. Just sort of it's not even the rough or where your golf shot would ever go. And there could just be like a little forest right there. We really need to be planting trees. And neighborhoods like mine where there should just be a crew coming down going, you want an oak tree? Here, we'll put it right here. Next week, the 911 dig, whatever that 411 dig people, they're coming and spraying, don't dig here. And then we're coming and we're got the little spiral corkscrew thing and punch a hole in the ground and drop an oak tree in there. All you got to do is water it for the next few weeks. Oak trees grow fast, too. Oak trees grow really fast. And live oaks last hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. So we have these mature oak trees that are 50, 60, 80, 100 plus years old, and some New Orleans street crew comes rolling in there, some contractor or city workers, and just cut it all up. Just cut up roots of oak trees. No, you're going to have a lot of oak trees suffering and dying. You're going to have oak trees that are stressed out for no reason. Just a nightmare. They're rules, and they didn't follow them. And we have a tree canopy problem. And now some beautiful Gentilly street or boulevard that's oak tree lined with trees from the 100 years old. You're going to start seeing a lot of them die. It's like that Sophie B. Wright, the school on Napoleon at Britannia. The school board says an arborist came out and happens to the 6 trees in front of the school, the 6 old oak trees, they got to go. So no discussion, no second opinion. Trees are gone. How are there like a few hundred more oak trees of that same age up and down every other block from the river to where Napoleon hits Fontainebleau and Broad. How aren't there mass clear-outs of oak trees there? Because they're sick or they're termite damaged or they're about to fall. Could fall on the school. We already had one tree branch come down. Yeah, oak tree branches come down because some of the trees' branches die. The branch is part of nature. And instead of some city arborist coming by and trimming the trees every now and then, the dead tree branch during a storm or wind event might snap and fall. Trim the trees, care for the trees. Instead, 6 trees that were all north of 100 years old, gone. No, you'll all of a sudden come up Britannia, heading towards uptown, away from downtown. You'll hit Napoleon, you'll look to your right at the light, and there'll be the Sophie B. Wright School, and you'll be like, wow, look at that beautiful school. Never really noticed it before. Well, it's one of many, New Orleans public schools. We spent about $2 billion. We have the nicest public school buildings in the United States of America. Brand new schools that are state-of-the-art that you'd see anywhere in America. New school being built, one here, one there. We got dozens of those. Dozens, brand new. And then we've got a bunch of old buildings that are fully renovated to brand new, like Sophie B. Wright. Beautiful renovation. Just shouldn't be shocking that you're just noticing it because the 6 oak trees are gone. Corey Johnson with you on the money. There he is, taking care of business. You can cuff Joe, our producer, and haul him out of here. Put him in the cage. He's breaking laws. Just trust me. The law passing by the wonderful Buddy Deliberto, River City's Total Maintenance Studios, giving us a thumbs up, Joe, because we do an honest, hard-working program. Our best today, tomorrow better, Joe. Our best today, tomorrow better. Thumbs up from law enforcement. Monday afternoon edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480. Do you care about trees like I do? I do. I got to admit it. Coming right back. I love oak trees.
Mark Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. From 67 to like 44. I'm talking about degrees. We're going to have a 25-degree drop in temperature. That's on the South Shore. Like right now, 65, 66, 67, 68 degrees in Metro New Orleans on the South Shore. Tomorrow morning when we wake up, 44. You North Shore folks, high 30s when you wake up tomorrow morning, like a 30-degree drop in temperature. The highs tomorrow in the 50s. We probably won't see 60 degrees tomorrow. And then a slow warming up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into the weekend. By the way, today, the first day of spring. Hey, tomorrow, another edition of Hillier and Hennigan. Right-leaning Quinn Hillier's going to join us. Left-leaning Ellis Hennigan's going to join us. Talk about what's going on. Trump, Biden, the election in November. Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, and more. Hey, I mentioned the North Shore. How is the North Shore of New Orleans no longer considered part of Metro New Orleans? I do not think this just happened organically, that the feds were just combing through numbers. The computer spit this out. You better re-examine Metro New Orleans. I think some politician, somebody with some stroke, some power, got the ball rolling. Studied like what makes up a metro area, what makes up the areas around them, what's the percentage of commuters, and then looked at the causeway and I-10 traffic or something like that and was like 15 or 20% of St. Tammany Parish residents. There's 275,000 of us now. 20% of that would be, of 275, that'd be what, 40? It's about 55,000 folks. 55,000. So they're like, there's no way 55,000 folks are commuting to New Orleans every day from St. Tammany. Every day on the causeway, it's about 20,000 on the causeway. And then they argue, not all the 20,000 are going to the city.
And then the I-10, it's much more than 20,000. I don't know the car count on I-10. I wouldn't doubt if it's 100,000, but they'd argue a lot of the folks going to I-10 to 610 right through New Orleans aren't even stopping in New Orleans, going past Baton Rouge, whatever, going to home at Thibodeau. So I guess that, some other things, but St. Tammany, the North Shore, is now considered its own metro area of about 275,000. What I also think is behind this, because St. Tammany becomes their own metro area, they're entitled to funding or grants or something that Metro New Orleans got, and St. Tammany had to work through the 9 parishes to get a little piece or something like that. Now they're their own thing and they get a piece, and it means New Orleans gets less of a piece. I just don't believe it was organic. My opinion, I think there was some behind-the-scenes political BS. NOPD officer accused of forcing a teenage boy, like days after a car accident, to strip naked, some molestation going on, some stalking going on. This officer under arrest. Crazy. Louisiana National Guardsmen arrive in Texas, about 50 from the Shreveport area. A border security operation. I could have sworn Texas is a rich state and Louisiana's a poor one. And we're sending our folks to Texas to help them. Is Texas going to come help move some big boulders or rocks like on Grand Isle to shore up the coastline, or getting some, National Guard bulldozers and get a dredge working and shore up a barrier island? Are those Texas National Guardmen going to help us with our problem with Mexico? The invasion of the Gulf of Mexico. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. This is just politics at its worst. 50's nothing. There's a bunch of states involved. 50 with 10 states is 500. Yes, good math. Texas is a state of 30 million. 30 million. And here's the most ironical part. Lots of migrant workers that could do this job. That's the funny part. It's crazy. Probably be more than willing to do it. I'm a gringo all of a sudden. Keep out my Latino brother. No, it's crazy. There is a border crisis. Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California. There's been a coastal erosion crisis in Louisiana for decades. I just think there's no chance in hell, zero, that Texas National Guardsmen will be in Louisiana helping us do anything. Maybe guard some, clinic from being open or something like that. I don't know what they would be here for. Something political. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Hey, you tired of your dry cleaner? You put on a shirt, buttons missing, the collar's wrinkled. Shirt wasn't done right. Ladies, it could be a blouse, skirt, pants, slacks, whatever. You tired of your dry cleaner? Looking to experience the best? And talk about convenience. Young's Dry Cleaning. Walk-up locations with personal service. That's old school. Young's absolutely free pickup and delivery, home or office. That's sort of today's preferred method of dry cleaning. And Young's Express. Their manless locker locations, the future of dry cleaning right now. Dozens and dozens of Young's Express locations all over Metro New Orleans. Young'sDryCleaning.com. Find out where those Young's Express locations are. Get on Young's free pickup and delivery list. Young'sDryCleaning.com. What, Blue Boy? Hour? What? An hour? What? Slow down, buddy. Oh, we have an hour to go. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I just couldn't understand. Tell folks to stick around. The 5 o'clock power hour's next. Thank you, Blue Boy. I get it. Good buddy.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior cover, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kind of backpacking and unpacking, town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just maybe think of me.
Let's go to La Jolla and not Cincinnati. Mr. Drew Brees. Yes. Thank you, number 9. NFL future Hall of Famer, Mr. Drew Brees. I think we're going to use a little WKRP today for some trivia. Name one of the 2 disc jockeys at WKRP. Name one of the 2 disc jockeys from the television program WKRP in Cincinnati from approximately 45 years ago. Yeah, maybe 40 years ago. Name one of the 2 disc jockeys on WKRP in Cincinnati, and I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. Boy, this question wasn't answered from the middle of last week. 2 questions. Was Donald Trump planning to build a Trump Tower ever here in New Orleans? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Yeah, Corey, it was actually Chalmette. They're going to build it right there on Judge Perez, Trump Tower. Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. 766-9480. Dude, you got it all wrong. It was Luling. Trump Tower Luling. 766-9480. Hey, what was the alternative site for the Louisiana Superdome? The B site. Hey, we've decided we're not going to build at Claiborne and Poydras, where all the interstates come together, right in the edge of the downtown. We're going to build on the B location, the alternative site, which is... Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. That's how you can dial up the program and participate. 766-9480. Joe's at the controls. Drunk, but at the controls nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's not really true. In spirit, 766-9480. Joe's fielding your phone calls. I got questions. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Was Donald Trump planning to build a Trump Tower here in New Orleans? 766-9480. The alternative site for the Louisiana Superdome. 766-9480. Name one of the 2 disc jockeys from WKRP in Cincinnati. 766-9480. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. Hey, the 5 o'clock power hour on this Monday afternoon brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating, now with 4 Baton Rouge area locations. That's right, Capital City, Tiger Town, Red Stick. Baton Rouge has 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations. And just like the 7 Metro New Orleans locations, including Mandeville and Hammond, free 2-hour delivery of those high quality Benjamin Moore paints and all the accessories you need to get that painting project done right. Do it once, do it right, like never, ever painting your house again. Lifetime warranty, Benjamin Moore Paint at Helm Paint and Decorating, now with 4 Baton Rouge locations. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They will steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating, now in Taiga Town. Let's see, Perkins Road, Highland, Choctaw, and I think Jones Creek, if I'm not mistaken, for you Baton Rouge folks. Plus, you can just call, go online, pick your Benjamin Moore colors, figure out what you're going to need, tell them what you're doing. The experts will steer you in the right direction. They'll come right to your house with it. No charge. All you pay for is the paint and the stuff you're using to get the job done. The free 2-hour delivery. Can't beat that. Free 2-hour delivery means it's free. Tomorrow, I'm fired up because I need help. No, not that kind of help. Hillier and Hennigan, right-leaning Quinn Hillier, left-leaning Ellis Hennigan tomorrow, 4 o'clock hour for the entire hour. So we can find out about Hamas and the old leader of the different, not Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, criticizing Hamas, saying they're to blame. Their October 7th, I forgot what, adventure, I think he may have called it. They're to blame for the 30,000 deaths in Gaza and all the heartache while they live in Qatar and stay at fancy hotels or nice houses and eat steak and lobster. Why aren't they in Gaza? Why aren't they fighting? No, when you have the old Palestinian Authority leader, the one going out the door, blaming Hamas, being critical of Hamas, that is great news. And then you have the new Palestinian Authority leader who is educated in the United States on the East Coast. So he's the new Palestinian Authority. So the U.S., we have an influence on that. And them being critical of Hamas is key. I mean, Palestinians, hey, I'm an American. I know Nazis suck in America. David Dork's a loser. I mean, Hamas is a terrorist organization. Palestinians need to embrace that and come to grips with that. Those Palestinians that don't acknowledge that. There's no, because this, that. Hamas is out 110%. There's no slack. You can't, man, Hitler, the buzz bomb, the jet engine, Hitler did some good things. I mean, there's no gray area there. They're out. This old guard Palestinian Authority, the guy on the way out is saying that. The new guy, American educated Palestinian Authority, is saying that. No, the West Bank, Gaza, the rebuilding of all of it. Two-state solution's the only way, which means the next move, Palestinians are doing their part, acknowledging Hamas sucks and ready to move forward with democratic elections. Netanyahu refuses a two-state solution, and that's the only solution. And it's the correct, proper solution. This area has never been entirely Jewish or entirely Palestinian. Hell, my people, Syrian Lebanese, and you notice I say Syrian Lebanese because the city my people are from was once in Syria and it was once in Lebanon. I'm sure that area that is part of the Levant. It's just the only way is a two-state solution. It would be like black folks telling white folks today to leave Orleans Parish, or white folks telling black folks to leave Orleans Parish. Just there's no other way. Instead, look what happens when, and I'm not trying to hey, we hold hands in kumbaya. But New Orleans is at its greatest when it's a gumbo, when that diversity is, simmering and just doing what it does. And we're at our worst when we're like potato or tomato soup, all black, all white, all conservative, all liberal. We're at our worst. No, we're a gumbo. We're crawfish and shrimp and crabs and okra and all kind of good stuff. Thick, dark roux to get it started. Come on. It's what makes New Orleans great. Not just some goofy line. Our diversity makes us great. No, our diversity does make us great. I mean, just the food I ate. I went down to the Orpheum and checked out Pat Metheny. Driving downtown, parked in a street-level parking lot right before the traffic started. Walked to a few different restaurants. GW Finn's, Galato's. We found a spot. Comfortable, said we got to eat right away. We got a concert at 8 o'clock around the block. Knocked out a great meal, some gumbo, some other goodies. Checked out a good jazz musician on guitar at the Orpheum. Nice theater, good crowd. Back to the car, jumped in it, went home. Easy. Loving New Orleans. First class, world class. Hey, New Orleans, speaking of, 5 o'clock power hour. Corey Johnson with you. Coming right back with more goodies. Don't move.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
I have the mango, I have cantaloupe, I have tangerine, I have garlic rain, I have Eden bed, and I have melatonin, I have oranges and banana, I have pineapple, I have spinach, I have cauliflower, sweet potatoes, orange potatoes. I have Corey Johnson on the radio. Sometimes he makes sense, so listen to his show.
I got mangoes, I got peaches and plums, I got eggplants, I got the yams and the melon.
There is a thing known as a good frozen pizza, Joe. I'd love to know the name brand. I just saw the Rouse's commercial with their Italian brands. You can see that commercial every day. I mean, from first off, the pasta. I'm going to be getting the pasta from Italy, the Rouse's brand pasta. And how about that wood-fired pepperoni pizza? The uncured pepperoni pizza from Italy, a product of Italy, like frozen and shipped here.
Like every now and then I'll have a tombstone and just put my own stuff on it. And then it seems like it's a little home done, but that's about as close as it gets.
Is it any good?
It's okay. I like a thin crust. I don't like a big puffy crust in a frozen pizza.
That Stouffer's French bread pizza those aren't bad.
Those get crunchy. That's what I like.
Yep, those aren't bad. And you want to know who had a better version of that, but it didn't sell and they abandoned it? Pepperidge Farm had it was on like a croissant. And it was better than the Stouffer's. And I used to eat the hell out of those like 25 years ago, my college days.
I was trying to find the old one I used to like. Newman's Own had a thin and crispy crust. That was good.
The Paul Newman pizza?
Yeah.
A thin crust?
I haven't been able to find it forever,
Yeah, that I would
was
imagine that's a rarity. You really got to hunt that down at the right spot. I wonder if Rouse's has it. But Joe, looking at the commercial that I pointed out, don't you want to go get that pepperoni made in Italy Rouse's pizza?
I might be going to Rouse's tonight.
Seriously, I want to try that bad boy because I haven't had a good frozen pizza in 20 or 30 years, literally. So, product of Italy, uncured pepperoni, a Rouse's find, the cheese is from Italy, the dough, the red sauce. I'm going to check, and I like the wood fire gimmick. So I will be checking that out. Then the pasta, the commercial is very well done. It's like, I want those products. I already use the Rouse's olive oil, and there's like 3 different levels of extra virgin, different price points. It's great. And Joe, I did like my own Pepsi challenge. I'm not kidding you. I had the Rouse's and I had some Cola Vita. And I poured the Cola Vita in a plate, and I think it was the middle of the 3 lines of Rouse's extra virgin. It was like in a wine bottle. And I poured some on another plate. They were the exact same color, that kind of golden yellowish color. I mean, like the exact same color. And then the viscosity, as I'll call it, Joe, the rate that that puddle of olive oil flowed across the plate was like the exact same speed. 0.78 millimeters per millisecond. No, it was the exact same flow, same viscosity or thickness. And then I did the old run the index finger through it. And, okay. And then I did the other ones. Like, they tasted exactly alike. I was like, it's just my guess. Rouse could be like, you're totally wrong, Corey. It tastes just like the Cola Vita. Now, here's the gimmick. I want to say the quart of Cola Vita, was it 16 ounces or 32? Maybe it's 32 ounces. I think it was $19 at Rouse's. It's like 25 everywhere else. The Rouse's brand's $9.95 was half the price. To me, the exact same product. I could not tell a difference, and I'm kind of a food. Some people are like, you're a food snob. It's like, no, I'm just picky. I'm kind of picky.
Connoisseur.
No, I'm like your 3-year-old boy. That's the problem. You know, I like to think connoisseur, and I saw this thing about people with a real high-end tongue. They can't eat like a lot of stuff other people can eat, and kind of the regular folks with the regular tongue, they can wolf down regular stuff. And like Joe, I'm not kidding. You think I'm joking? If you wanted to see me gag and I would literally like throw up, you think I'm joking or exaggerating? Give me like a loaded Lucky Dog on Bourbon Street and make me, I'd have to be just hammered. I'll
say I eat a lot of trash because I eat fast food.
But yeah, but you can handle it.
Yeah,
you can handle it. You could eat nachos from the Exxon. I would be like, go. I would be like a chili from Wendy's. I would be in my mouth. You would see, look at Corey's not having a good time. His eyes are bulging and he's gagging on it. I would like, it would be a mental thing. I would be like, I don't think this meat's good. This is a nasty product. People are now going, dude, I love Wendy's chili.
Yeah, I've got those stomach calluses. That's all. I guess that's why.
An unnamed friend of ours who we both know, Joe, comes to my house, grabs a carton out the fridge. I'm like, dude, that Chinese is from like Sunday night. And it was like Thursday. He grabs the container without even hesitating, pops it open, smells it, grabs a fork out of my drawer and eats it cold, knocked out the whole container, 5 days old. No, he could eat anything. Nachos from the Exxon, hot dog, twin pack hot dogs from the Exxon, extra relish. Corey, go. It would just be an awful scene. So no, I'm a picky eater, but I like to think maybe I've got that sophisticated tongue. And it's all you jokers that are eating the hot dogs at the Exxon and think it's okay. No, I have, not to belabor the point, the last Wendy's hamburger I had was like in the 80s. The last McDonald's hamburger I had was like late 80s, literally. I've never been in my life and had any food from a Taco Bell. I've never ordered from a Taco Bell. Nothing. I've never had a taco or a enchilada, whatever they have, flour. I've never had Taco Bell in my life. I've never had a burger from Checkers or Rallies, ever. Never. Joe's just like, you're not missing anything. And he just has a face of like,
a cup of grease, basically. That's it.
I used to get the Burger King Whopper like 30 years ago. I'm not kidding you. I get like halfway through it. I just see that like gray meat. I'm like, I got to finish this. I'd sort of get nauseated by it, like, this sucks. I switched to the Whopper Junior. And after I'd finished that, I'd be like, all right, I can almost take one more bite. I'm glad I don't have to. So I switched to the Whopper Junior, Joe, and I'd put my fries on the burger. I'd take the top bun off, dump like half my order of fries, and eat it all together.
It's like how a prisoner would eat their meal just to get through it.
I wish Burger King would have like a high quality meat, because I think the flame broiler is on to something there. Anyway, Corey Johnson and his lack of fast food. I think Popeyes sucks now. Hard for me to enjoy Popeyes. I don't like a chicken breast that's like 4 inches thick. It's like if I were in battle and someone were shooting me. We piled those Popeyes chicken breasts up a dozen high, and it just kept the bullets away. They're just so thick. I want a chicken breast like an inch thick. I mean, they're literally like 2.5, 3 inches thick. I'm like, what did that chicken look like?
They're just falling on their heads because they can't carry their breast meat.
Don't criticize me. This is some big old Arnold chicken. Terrible. No, I'm not. I mean, Popeyes, it was like, I'd get like a 2-piece, and it would be like either the biscuit sucked, the frozen hockey puck biscuit, or they'd be like greasy red beans or too much rice or just whatever. I was just like, this sucks. The old chicken leg with the brown meat. It's not dark meat. It's brown. What's up? Is that chicken leg broken? Did that happen? How did the chicken leg break? Was the chicken alive when it broke? Or it broke later during processing? So anyway, yeah, Joe, I eat a little Raising Cane's, not much anymore. I used to eat it probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. Now, very little. and very, very little the salty chicken known as Chick-fil-A. Could I get some of those salty nuggets? There's no salty in the name? Okay, just give me the nuggets that are real salty. Thank you. It's sodium. It's Chick-fil-A. And I don't believe it's all fresh and battered in store. That looks like a pre-battered nonsense to me that everybody's loving. Small sliders, Joe. The line's still very long for small sliders on Vets at Clearview. Oh, boy. I didn't know if you folks knew or not, but we changed the format of the program. It's Fast Food Talk, 24/7, 365, Fast Food Talk.
I actually have a friend visiting from Oklahoma who just texted me, going to Reginelli's for my first New Orleans meal. And I went, oh, no.
Well, I mean, Reginelli's has a good pizza.
It's fun, but just your first New Orleans meal?
That's not right. Yeah. Exactly. No, I like a Reginelli's pizza. I'd have one in a while.
It's fine.
New Orleans is an underrated pizza city, Joe. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we're New York or Chicago, but we're not that far away. Maybe every city in America has lots of pizza joints, and I just don't know it. But New Orleans has a lot of local pizza joints, and there's some high-quality pizza out there. A buddy dragged me to Algiers Point, right by the ferry landing, this Nighthawk Napolitano. Good little meatball appetizer with a pork and beef meatball. Didn't even mess with the veal. Just the pork and the beef was excellent. And then the pizza was damn good. The problem is it's Algiers. It's very difficult to get to. I like Algiers. I think the architecture, the neighborhood's incredible. Second oldest New Orleans neighborhood. It's beautiful over there. But if you had like pedestrian bridges somehow to cross Algiers to the CBD, a gondola, more bridges, ferries that would take cars as well, I might live in Algiers Point. Because sort of the niceness of it is like you're on an island. It's isolated. People aren't going through that neighborhood. It's on like a point. But supposedly Chubby's Chicken's supposed to be good. Chubby's Fried Chicken. But they're not open on weekends, so that kind of sucks for me. That's when I'd venture to the Best Bank and Nighthawk Napolitano. You got to love the name. Like, what does it mean? What they don't even, there's nothing to Nighthawk, Napolitano, they're not connected. I don't get it. What is it? I just love the name. And, but they don't open at like 4 or 5. So it's a nighttime joint, but that's a good, your wife and your kid for sure.
They actually do a really good pizza at Cafe Navarre. They have like,
oh yeah. That's Rick Abono over there.
Yeah. So we'll get some pizza from there.
That's your hood over there, huh, Joe?
Yeah.
You're by WYS.
Right a stone's throw, as they say.
By Delgado. Joe, you could be furthering your education and have a job in television, just walking distance from your home. Corey Johnson with you. Yes, I know. You're like, what is this? It's a talk radio and television program. Seriously. I'm not kidding. I'll never forget, Joe, years ago. This is probably 25 years ago. I'm pulling up to Bill Tripley Midas. You remember that guy? I used to do spots for him.
I do.
Well, I grew up over at Bill Tripley Midas by St. Martin's High School on Airline Highway past like Transcontinental. Right down the street of like 2 blocks from Shortstop Po' Boy. They'd be working my car. I'd go to Shortstop and get a Po' Boy. Shortstop's been there like 40 years. So anyway, there was this old timer that like if you're like 70 plus in New Orleans, oh, of course I remember Keith Rush. He's called himself the original Rush. And I don't know what he was like in the beginning, but at the end he was kind of just like kind of pissed off. And he was on with Bob Namer, that lunatic, that carried the gun into the Capitol. Just seriously, like, get on your meds, that kind of guy. I work for a station like, dude, do you mind going over and grabbing this? I was like, no problem. Like, also that, I'm like, wait, that's where Bob Namer is? No, I don't want to go there. I don't want to meet him or see him. Don't want to shake hands with him. Don't want to hear some tape or whatever. So anyway, Joe, it's like in my fledgling days of radio, I just barely started. And Keith Rush is on. and he's just complaining about something. And I pull up to Bill Tripoli Minus because I had I think they had to weld my exhaust manifold. Joe was making loud noises. So it's 11:05. I call in on my cellular device, like a flip phone, Motorola flip phone. This is 90s, early 90s, 30 years ago. Hey, there's Bill McGill. Something I just make up a name. Say, man, why you talking all that? Why you talk about this? Before the sentence cuts me off, I'm gone, hung up on. And then I kind of excited. Then I turn up the radio and he's just, I've been doing radio for 40 years. You're going to tell me how to do a show? Just freaking out. So for a minute, I'm just laughing. And I'm like, all right. Yeah. Bill's like, bring the car in. I'm listening, laughing. Bill's looking at me like I'm crazy, pulling the car up on the ramp or whatever. He's like, cut it off. I was like, Keith Rush says, yeah, blah, blah, well, this happened, whatever. And he's rolling his eyes. So whatever. He's like, all right, go in the waiting room. So I go in the waiting room. I walk down to shortstops, get a po' boy. I come back. It's 10 to noon. Car, he pulls it off the ramp. It's sitting. He's like, you're ready to go. I pay him. I get in the car. Literally. And he's going to tell me how to do a program. I'm like, holy smokes. I mean, I wrecked his hour. An hour he must have been going off for, or I don't know, maybe he had 30 minutes of a different topic and went back to it. But it was the same rant. It was like at Jazz Fest when Widespread Panic was playing. They went into a guitar solo. I was like, Widespread going to a guitar solo. Maybe I'll go to some food. Crawfish pies, guys? Yeah, you want some? Okay, I'm going to be back. Crawfish sacks, whatever. I go get some crawfish pies, crawfish Monica. I eat some out there. Come back 25 minutes later. Same guitar solo going. Widespread, bro. Very similar situation. Tell me how to do a show. I'm like, 45 minutes later. I felt bad. I was like, calm down, old man. This guy's going to die. Jeez, I have an implosion. Oh. Hey, it's a Martell Monday. That's right. Brett Martell's going to join us. We're actually going to get back to doing actual talk radio. Interesting concept. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. You looking for a new job, a new career? Go to Latrim.com and check out this company. New Orleans born, bred, based. Incredible company. J.M. LePere in the late 40s invented the shrimp peeling machine. That led to the all-plastic modular conveyor belt. His sons, Jay and Robert, run Latrim. It's not publicly traded. It is a New Orleans local company. That shrimp peeling machine leading to the all-plastic modular conveyor belt, LePere Stair, over 600-700 worldwide patents at Latrim. It's a culture of innovation, and they're looking for you. It's not just a job, it's a career. They're folks that have been at Latrim for 20, 30 years. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
The true voice of New Orleans, telling it like it is, Corey Johnson.
Oliver Thomas joins us, New Orleans City Councilman Oliver Thomas.
And I want to, one of the reasons why I come on your show and not others, because you are fair. You equal opportunity support, equal opportunity criticize, equal opportunity disagree with. You don't have a black agenda, a white agenda, Republican agenda, or a Democratic agenda. All you've ever done with me, even if you disagree with me, and you have information to back up or a point of view why you disagree. The rest of them don't do that. They're embedded in his party, race, and ideology, no matter whether they have the facts or not. And that's what's destroying this country, this state, and local community.
No, agreed.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Why aren't you at Katie's right now? 5:40 Monday afternoon. Pelicans, NBA action, Premier League soccer. Pick your poison. It's on the flat screens, plural, at Katie's in Mid-City, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant full of New Orleans characters. You go in there 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. Different folks, different lifestyles, different socioeconomic levels, different work shifts. They're popping in Katie's all day long. What a bunch of characters. Plus a taste of New Orleans, big portions, great for sharing. Katie's in Mid-City. And you lakefront folks, you Lakeview folks. You live out in the Lakeview area? Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. The old Charlie's Deli location for you old-timers on Harrison, in between Canal Boulevard and West End. About 15 different specialty sandwiches to choose from. Or build your own sandwiches, a true deli. Pick the bread, the meat, the dressing, the cheese, the extras. And fantastic pizza. Same pizza oven as Katie's. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria. Lakeview. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Brett Martell joins us on a Martell Monday. What's up, Brett?
Hey, Corey. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Yourself?
Not bad. Not bad.
Good.
Weather was nice. A little windy, but comfortable.
Yeah, it is nice. 60s, breezy. It's going to drop about 25 degrees. Get your gloves out, Mr. Maine. It could be cold in the AM.
I don't know.
Not for you, Brett. Brett's from Maine, people. Brett would go ice fishing and stuff. Have you ever been ice fishing, Brett?
Actually, no. But I've been snowmobiling and skiing and played ice hockey and all that stuff.
Yep. Brett's a pretty good athlete. Played a little college baseball as well. And when he connects, and the big word is when, that driver, he'll hit that golf ball about 280 plus. Distances I couldn't reach downhill on pavement. Anyway, hey, Brett, Chase Young. That's a big free agent grab for the New Orleans Saints, isn't it? I mean, just in general and a key need. That's, I don't know, quarterback, left tackle, DN, corner. These are the most important positions on an NFL field.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a one-year deal, and so it's in a way it's a stopgap measure, but I don't think they're looking past next year at all because, I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, that's 3 years under Dennis Allen without making the playoffs. That could be the end of that regime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're only looking at next year, and they can't really rely on, Marcus Davenport just because, although we've shown a lot of potential, not Marcus Davenport, I'm sorry, Dayton Turner, because although he showed a lot of potential, he's hurt all the time. And Cam Jordan probably will be better next year than it was this year because he was playing hurt a lot this year. And he appears to have rededicated himself to having a really good offseason and hopefully coming back strong next year. But he is getting near the end of his career. So they needed help at this area. And they appear to have, a relatively close to top of the line type of, pass rusher added to the mix now.
Yep. Like I said, it's such a important position. The great NFL teams, Brett, the great ones, they have 3 really good defensive ends, maybe even 4.
Yeah. And, the Saints, that was just they weren't at that point.
No, and as Jim Finks would say, long in the tooth, that expression. Cam Jordan's getting long in the tooth, even with the rededication thing. Father Time catches up to everyone. He's in a precarious situation just health-wise. Injured a lot last year because he's getting up in age, You're going up against a bunch of guys 10 years younger than you that are trying to make it in the league and are hungry. And I'm not saying Cam Jordan isn't. He's a pro. He's one of the best. But the injuries, it's all, well, did he have a down year last year because of the injuries, or is he just getting long in the tooth and the injuries are inevitable and you'll never have a great year again? So, no, he's got to really stay healthy and have that kind of season for him to be effective.
Right. Well, he was playing hurt most of last season.
Yep.
And it really affected him as a pass rusher, but they were still able to leave him on there, on the field for the running game and stuff, and he was still effective enough to be out on the field. So I feel like the front office and coaching staff felt really good at what Cam Jordan contributed in light of, where his health was.
Brett Martell's with us.
They're hopeful.
Hey, Brett, how can folks read your stuff via the AP, by the way? Brett, how can folks get your articles and columns via the Associated Press?
Sure. They can go to apnews.com on the laptop or the AP News app on a smartphone, which is free and a great way to get news from all over the world, not just sports, but obviously my stuff is on the app if you do a search for, Saints or Pelicans, LSU, and whatnot.
Brett Martell's with us for a few more minutes. He's with the AP. Every day, this program on radio, television, on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Right now, click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Always brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, home of Lamarck Ford for over 45 years. The big store, #1 Ford dealership in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, #1 Lincoln dealership in the state. And now the legendary Ford truck dealership under the Lamarck umbrella. That's right, Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Hey, Brett, a few months ago, Zion Williamson was Playing sometimes, not playing, little injuries, holding him back, worrying about conditioning, kind of chunky and I don't want to say chunky and fat, but just not in shape like he looked at the beginning of last season where he had that dramatic 30-pound weight loss we found out. Apparently he's lost like 25 pounds in the last 2 or 3 months. And I guess it shows. The Pels are a 5 seed banging on the Clippers 4 seed in the West.
Well, he is in the best shape that I've seen him in a long time. And, and he kind of acknowledged after the victory on Saturday that he just wasn't where he needed to be in terms of, earlier this season in terms of, being a reliably kind of dominant player who could play a lot of minutes every night and play back-to-backs. Earlier this season, he was getting rested a lot in back-to-backs. I think we saw him have really good games on Friday and Saturday, back-to-back games this past week. Very influential games. A double-double on Saturday, a 34-point game against the Clippers on Friday. I think it was 26 and 10 on Saturday. This is really the first time in his career, and it's easy to forget, but it's the first time in his career he's playing meaningful basketball in the last month or so of the season. It's really the last month of the season now.
Yep.
For a playoff-bound team. He hasn't done that before.
No, you're right.
Because the only other season he played significantly was his second year they didn't make the playoffs. He played 61 games, and he still got hurt at the end of that season.
No, the Pels keep doing what they're doing. They're a 5 seed now. They could easily move to the 4. They're only like a game and a half or 2 back from the Clippers. Those 2 teams could flip-flop. I mean, unless barring some total meltdown, there's no worrying about the play-in or any of that. Right now it'd be Pels and Clippers, I guess, playing each other, but a lot of basketball still left. About 15, 16 games left in this season. And then the postseason is arguably the best postseason in pro sports. Starts mid next month and ends in early June. It's like 2 months, including the entire month of May. It's just pretty amazing, the NBA playoffs. Hey, Brett, speaking of hoops, the NCAA tournament is set, both men and women. I guess locally, on the men's side, we're going to cheer for Will Wade and the McNeese State Cowboys. What are they taking on Gonzaga? And then Grambling's in like a play-in game with like Montana State or somebody.
Yeah. McNeese State didn't probably get the best draw, but I mean, it's tough when you're a seed that, in the, what are they, 13?
Yeah, 12 or 13. Yep.
Yeah, but they are as dangerous as a low seed gets, and they are an upset special.
Yep, they are. 11s and 13s. You got to make the one bracket an 11 and one a 13. It usually happens every year now. No, they are. They got a lot of athletes. They play good defense, outside shooters, big men in the paint. You know them better than most people locally, Brett. So they have a chance. So, yeah, you got to cheer for McNeese and Grambling. LSU men are going to the NIT. They host tomorrow night at the PMAC. The LSU women, Brett, surprised that they're a 3 seed and not a 2?
They probably deserve to be a 2 because if you look at, they had 5 losses this year, which seems like a lot, but 2 of those were to who? Undefeated number 1 South Carolina, both in very close games, right? One of them, at the SEC tournament. They had a slip up, obviously, in the beginning of the season against Colorado, and then subsequent tough road losses to Auburn and I want to say Mississippi State, but that's 3, and then the other 2 were to the the number 1 undefeated team in the country. So they were an SEC tournament finalist. People know they're very talented. They easily could have been a 2. But being a 3 is, if they won it all last year as a 3 is high enough. It may not be what they deserve, but it's high enough. And it's probably good for them mentally to be a 3. And athletes are always looking for signs of disrespect or slights to fuel them a little bit extra.
Yep.
And now they have it.
Yeah, last year, did Tennessee upset the Lady Tigers in the SEC tournament? I forget who did.
I want to say in the semifinals.
Yeah,
maybe.
so they didn't even make the finals against South Carolina. That fueled them to a national championship. I'll just say this, Brett, and maybe you agree or disagree. If the LSU Lady Tigers continue playing like they've sort of been playing all year long, they're not going to win a national championship. They might get to the Elite Eight. They may even make the Final Four. But that would be, I think, as far as they could go if they play like they've been playing all year. It seems like they need to engage clutch, drop a gear, take it up to another level, like a Kim Mulkey, it's playoff time level, a higher level, or they're not going to make a run for the national championship. I mean, South Carolina, they just keep doing what they're doing. They have a pretty damn good chance of being national champs. LSU keeps doing what they're doing. I don't think they do. What do you think?
Yeah, I think LSU needs to peak, right now. I mean, they haven't reached their full potential, but they've definitely had games where they've looked fantastic. And they, I think that they have the talent. I mean, they have the talent to beat anybody. They're as dangerous as any team in the tournament. They had South Carolina on the ropes in one game, and then Angel Reese fouled out, and one of their shooters got hot, and they lost. That was the home game in late January that they lost to South Carolina. But, so I'm with you on that. I mean,
they got to take it up a notch.
Their full potential.
Yep.
Yeah, and also, they did lose a prominent player in the beginning of the season, a front court player, Samaya Smith, tore her ACL. She looked like she was going to be a really strong contributor inside, offensively and defensively, and basically hasn't been able to play since the Thanksgiving tournament in Grand Cayman. So,
any repercussions? Any repercussions, Brett, from the altercation?
No, I mean, that was just, nobody got suspended or anything. I mean, some people got kicked out of the game, but they weren't really involved in the fight. And so, no, I mean, really what you need to see is last year Pella come back from her concussion so she can play guard, which gives a little bit of relief to Haley Van Lith, who's very productive in the off guard spot. But Haley Van Lith will remain the primary point guard because that's what she came to LSU to do. That's why she wanted to play for Kim Mulkey, who was one of the great college point guards of her day, and Olympic, and so
Hey, Brett, that's what's going to happen? Do Angel Reese and Haley Van Lith definitely leave, or could they possibly come back? Because it almost seems like arguably you can make more money as a college women's basketball player because more games are televised. There's a much bigger fan base. It's not even close. The women's college game nationwide on television compared to the WNBA, it's night and day. The WNBA is still fledgling as far as that. The women's game is on a huge uptick. Do they definitely leave, or they get that they can come back for that extra Corona year? And I don't know. We know Angel Reese is making millions. Van Lith must be making hundreds of thousands.
I think that neither one. They both have a decision to make, and they've both said as much that they're not sure if they're going to leave or not. But if I had to guess, I think I don't know, socially and just where she is in her life, I feel like Angel Reese is ready to move on, to start doing the WNBA thing and then playing in the WNBA offseason in Europe and branching out into modeling and all kinds of other things that could take her away from the type of commitment that Kim Mulkey wants.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To make to LSU.
Yep.
But and Reese is a big enough name that she basically told me the financial considerations won't enter into her decision. It's just going to be what she feels like she wants to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That totally makes sense. And the modeling and the other things and the commitment, that's a great answer. Hey, Brett.
Yeah, because the WNBA salary is not going to affect it.
No, it's
too small.
She may make less money because she's not in the spotlight as much as she is in college. And who knows, some of the advertisers may be like, got to lower what we pay you, or we're not interested, or whatever. Always a pleasure, Brett.
Yeah, I do think Bandless is the more likely of the two to come back.
That's Brett Martell from the Associated Press. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. He's saying, have a great night. Thanks for watching and listening. Get outside. It's beautiful. Going to be cold in the morning. Bundle up. We'll see you mañana, 4 p.m.
You're on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.